Back in August, I visited Tampico, Illinois, the birthplace of Ronald Reagan, the great communicator, also known as the president when I was a kid. Reagan was born February 6, 1911, in the upstairs apartment of this building. To be more specific, I'm talking about the apartment over the building which down in front is labeled as a bank. However, when he was born, the downtown business in the lower level of the building was reportedly a bakery. This room shown here is the birth room. Reagan was born here. Now, it might be worth noting that none of the furniture was actually owned by the Reagans because they were regular working folks, and it wasn't till many, many decades later when their son became famous. But the museum officials tried to decorate the apartment to the period. Reagan's father, Jack Reagan, managed a store on the other side of the street. It was owned by a prominent local businessman named H.C. Pitney. A few years after Reagan's birth, Pitney sold the store and Reagan's father moved the family. They lived at a few other locations in Illinois until Mr. Pitney bought the store back, at which point Jack Reagan came back to Tampico to work for him. But eventually they did leave again for Dixon, Illinois in 1920, and Dixon is considered Reagan's boyhood home, although Tampico is and will always be his birthplace. After the bakery that Ronald Reagan was born over closed, the businesses downstairs below the apartment reportedly included the City Hall of Tampico at one point and a bank. The bank went out of business a long time ago, but museum officials restored the interior to resemble the bank. Basically, make it look like it was when it was a bank years ago. And the items from the building's days as a bank include the safe, which is surely too thick and heavy-duty to move. And even though there's no money stored in it, unfortunately at one point it did suffer some vandalism. Now downstairs next to the bank you can buy some souvenirs and see some other exhibits about Reagan. Apparently when Reagan was a child, he had a tendency to hold his hand under his chin when taking pictures. And this statue of him in the local park, standing on top of the cannon, pays homage to that. Well, if you're alive in 2024 and you think Reagan is at least the second best president in your lifetime, then I think this trip to the Ronald Reagan Museum is definitely worthwhile. I enjoyed it and I can recommend it. So, thank you for watching.